I just ordered this right here. Y'all see that? It's the dragon drink Starbucks refresher with the I guess how you pronounce it is the Oleto golden foam. So it's got the coconut in there. Y'all see that? Yeah, so that's what I just ordered. And I'm gonna try to get this done quickly because I want to get back home to my baby. I asked my sister to watch her right quick while I go and do this video right quick.
Alright, I just pushed it through. You can go ahead and pull around.
Alright, love, thank you. So I'm gonna do an update video right quick because I know I have not been on YouTube in a very, very long time. But let me tell y'all, life has been lifing. It has been, but in a good way. But in a good way. Let me see the last time I actually did a video with y'all, or on YouTube. The last time I did a video was on oh, it says a month ago. Okay, good gosh. So it says a month ago. Let me get the date. July 28th. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna let y'all know everything that has basically transpired from July 28th up until now. But first I'm gonna get my drink right quick.
I'm sorry about that.
That's alright. Oh, that would have been a disaster. Thank you, love.
You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Now that I got my Starbucks, let's talk about it. Okay, so yeah, so the last video I uploaded was on July 28th. So, so the last video that I uploaded when I was I believe I was talking about, like, to y'all about needing to get another job, right? Because the job that I was at currently, you know, it was just like kind of talk here and there, like, oh, you know, if we don't get the discharges under control, you know, we may have to see about you know, like y'all, so y'all all know whenever a company downsizes, you know, positions will be taken. That's just kind of the lay of the land. That's just kind of the nature of the beast, right, in the career field. So I was being told by my PD that, like, hey, we're losing way too many patients. So if we keep losing patients, you know, unfortunately, we may have to cut positions. And so she was telling me that I could, you know, do a lateral move and go straight to being a counselor again. But I didn't bank on that. So, and that's kind of how my mind works, because if my position at that time, being a supervisor, could go, then that tells me that my position as a counselor could also go. So her telling me that, I don't really see that as giving me job security or anything hopeful to think about, because I'm thinking, you know, you're telling me that this job company as a whole does not offer me job security. And so I had to leave. So, and I needed to leave because, that is so good. So I needed to leave because, one, I'm a registered licensed intern for counseling. So I needed to leave anyways, because where I was, the population was substance abuse, and I kind of needed to get into the full-blown mental health counseling arena, you know what I mean? So I needed to leave anyways. And so my little from Big Brothers Big Sisters, her mom is a director at where I am now, and she's the one that kind of put in a pitch for me there, in order for them to hire me as an outpatient adult counseling therapist. So I did the interview on June 27th, and he ended up calling me. So after my background check and everything went in, he ended up calling me, telling me I got the job. And so I started there where I am now, August the 12th. And I told my previous job my last day was going to be August the 9th. So y'all, I kid y'all not, the last video, July 28th, life has been lifing, because that was the only video. I really only had time to kind of do that video, and then I was just dealing with life. So after that, I was told, I think maybe 2 days later after I uploaded that video, that I got the job, that I had got the job. And so then, I'm having to put in my 14 weeks notice. I'm having to, or my 14-day notice, or my 2-week notice. And I'm having to also transition all of the patients that were, because at that time I had a whole caseload as well. So I was a supervisor doing my regular supervisory duties, and I was also, they had also given me a caseload. So I also had a caseload as well. So that 2 weeks, it was a lot. I was cleaning out my office, taking things home, trying to organize things, getting home, also taking care of Maverick on the weekends. Trying to have my sanity, or get my sanity back, and go to her dad's house so he can have his time. And it was just a lot. And then when I started my new job, y'all, when I tell y'all this is my last job and only job, unless I go into private practice, because getting a new job, it's just so much to do. You know what I mean? It's just the orientation. And yeah, it was really exciting, because I told my supervisor, my clinical supervisor that is over me while I'm getting my hours done for licensure, it's exciting because she was happy that I was kind of getting into full-blown mental health, which is where I needed to be. And I just thank God so much for this blessing, just to put that out there, because he put me exactly where I need to be, and he has put me in a position that I can have into retirement. So I'm just very blessed. But back to the, okay, yeah, so just getting a new job, the orientation, just all of the paperwork, signing up for benefits, signing up, doing the whole W-2 stuff. It's just a lot. And there was a lot of training that I had to do, like, throughout the week, and it was just a lot. Not even to mention, transitioning now. They're transitioning patients to me, and I'm having to learn a whole new electronic health record system. It is a lot. So, I just, on the weekends, I just did not have the energy to even pick up the camera and vlog anything. I was just I was so overwhelmed, and it was just so much going on, and that wasn't it. So on top of that, let me get out my little list here. So on top of that, so that's one thing that happened. I got a new job. That's one thing that happened. I got a new job. And I left well. They gave me a going away basket. So I've also been trying to work on my car, my Celica. So I've been trying to work on my car and get it back on the road, because I also moved during that time. So my mom, sister, and we all moved also during that time. Okay, so y'all have to kind of think, okay, I'm getting a new job, I'm moving as well. It was a lot. Every weekend I was, packing. And my mom, she has a mental health disorder of hoarding. So she's a hoarder. I tried to not call a person by their diagnosis. So she has a diagnosis. She has, she has a hoarding disorder, should I say. So my mom just had a lot of stuff. She had a lot of stuff that we had to pack and get in order. So y'all, we didn't get all of my mom's stuff out of the house until last weekend. And it is September, it's Labor Day, September the 3rd. So we didn't get all of my mom's stuff out until this weekend. And every single weekend we were moving stuff out of that house and putting it in our new house in the garage. So that's how much stuff my mom has. While my mom is not a she's not quote unquote a dirty hoarder. You know, all her stuff is in boxes, new, brand new, tags still on there. It was still overwhelming nonetheless. Okay, so that was that. So with that move came with a financial burden to me, or on me. So with this move, I moved in with my mom under the uh, kind of the pretense that I was only going to be paying her $550 a month for rent. And that was it. And I was going to y'all know the videos that I did put up there called 24 Level Up, which means that within 2 years I was going to save 24,000. You know, my goal was to save $1,000 every month. With this move, I now have to pay, and I'm happy the lease is only for a year, because after a lease I'm out, you know, because this is just not what I signed up for. I kind of got a little upset with my mom, just a little bit, because she knew that this was not what I signed up for, but everything happened for a reason, and I tried to not get upset with the way anybody wants to walk in life, or the way they want to live their lives, because I'm choosing to go home. However, I chose to go home because I thought I was going to be able to save, and I'm not able to save. So now that I have moved, and I'm not putting anything on my mom at all. I love her. She's great. She takes care of Maverick. But that's another thing. Okay. So we moved. So I got a new job. So dealing with all that, we moved, having to move, deal with all that, pack up my room and all that. And keep in mind also, I'm trying to be a mom in the midst of that. And so we moved. When we were at the old house and I was at my old job, I was about 7 to 11 minutes from my job. This new job that I'm at and the new house we're at, I'm now 40 minutes from my job, one way. And I'm also driving my Jeep Wrangler, so that's another thing. During the new my first 2 weeks of work, and I've only been at my job since August the 12th, so it's been about maybe a good, I'd probably say 3 weeks. During the first week alone, I knew that this is not going to be a financial gain for me at all. So now that we're living in the new house, I now have to pay $800 in rent, because my mom, sister, and I are splitting rent. I'm now paying $800 in rent. My Jeep per week takes my Jeep every 2 weeks takes $100 for gas. And on top of that, Maverick now has to start daycare. So my mom's health, when we were in the house we moved from, really deteriorated. So she lost about 60 pounds in a month and a half. She's still losing weight. You know, I say this sensitively, but she looks like she has aged beyond her years. So she's really, she's gotten appointments done, but I don't know if she's doing her due diligence with that, which is where me and my sister Crystal, we kind of had a powwow with her, because we feel as though, hey, like, are you looking at yourself? Are you realizing that you are losing, your health is not well, and she's not doing what she needs to do as a requirement and a responsibility to herself to get tests done and find out what's going on. So that's a frustration within itself. So I think her and my sister had a really huge powwow, and so now she just did one appointment. Now she's going to another appointment on the September the 24th to test her thyroid. And and then Maverick and me, or Maverick's dad and I, we have to put Maverick in daycare, because now it's to a point where now it's just to a point where my mom cannot even pick up Maverick at all. She doesn't have the energy to take care of her throughout the day at all. She can't even go outside with her. She can't get up with her for long periods of time. And so time is of the essence, and that's what my sister and I kind of discussed. Because my sister was like, my sister was getting kind of scared because she was like, hey, so my sister works from home. So 3 days out of the week, she's able to be there and kind of manage and help my mom with Maverick. But my sister felt like, and I myself, on the day that she's at campus, will my mom be able to handle Maverick by herself? Because she's already had, we just don't think so. She's just not that well. And so that's also what's been going on. So now, dang it, what was that? Where's the, sorry y'all, I was trying to ground myself right quick so I don't get overwhelmed. But so what happened was, after I got the job, we moved into the new house as I'm transitioning, moving stuff from my old office to the car to the new house, and then from the new house to my car to my new office. And we are, still moving my mom's stuff in that house. It took us 4 weeks to move and 3 moving trucks. That's ridiculous. If you can't move all of your stuff in your home in one moving truck, you have too much stuff. But I have found closure with my mom's behavior, so moving forward. Also during that time, yes, so after I would get home from work, y'all, tired as I don't know what, because keep in mind, I was transitioning out of my old job and transitioning to a new job, and that's a lot. But the moment I got home, and my mom is supposed to do this. I get it. Maverick's my child. But from the moment I step into the house, my mom's passing Maverick off to me, and she's going into her room, shutting the door, and she's laying down. Okay, so so it got to a point where I just started keeping my work clothes on, because Maverick, getting off of work, when I got in, she was so clingy, and I just said, I'm just going to keep my work clothes on, play with her, take her outside, give her a bath, and once she's settled in her crib, that's when I actually take off my work clothes and get a shower and try to have some peace, so that's been going on. So last week, my sister and me, we had a conversation, and she said, hey, mom really cannot, it's time, and Maverick needs this as well, because my mom talks about how Maverick likes to just get in her lap and sit down with one toy. And I was telling her, I was like, well, mom, babies can sense stuff, toddlers can sense stuff. Toddlers are a lot way more intelligent than people give them credit. I was like, Maverick does that. If you don't notice, Maverick is hyper with her auntie Crystal and me, because Maverick knows, what Maverick is sensing is that me and Crystal have energy and you don't. So that's why when during the day Maverick just gets in your lap with a toy and sit there, because one, she's kind of learned to do that. She's learning you. She's learning that, grandma doesn't take me outside. Grandma doesn't run around with me. Grandma doesn't do a lot of things. So I was like, it's not that she wants to do that, mom. It's that Maverick is learning you, and she's sensing something. So that's why she does that. And so my mom, and I can tell that bothers my mom. So August the 30th, which was Friday, I set up an appointment with an academy And Maverick needs this. Maverick needs this learning experience. She also needs this social experience. Um, and it is very pricey. So that's another thing. This fine, I have, y'all, probably the only thing that I will probably be able to pay off or pay most off during this time with my mom is my Jeep. You know, I won't be coming with any gains financially at all when I move out. No financial gains at all. So, her dad and I set up the tour, and I told her dad, like, hey, if you want to come, you know, just come and get a lift there, because I won't be able to pick you up and also go there. So we both dressed to impress, and he came and he showed up, and we took a tour of this academy. And so I just said she'll start October the 1st, whether I have the financial gains to do it or not, because my mom can't do it anymore. So this place, there's a full-blown curriculum. She'll be going Monday through Friday and I'll be dropping her off at 7:15 before I go to work, and picking her up at 5:30 because I get off at 5. My hours at work are from 8 to 5. I do 7 sessions a day, 1 hour for documentation, and then I leave. So that's just the life of that's the life of a therapist. That's just what you do. And so like on top of this, so the last 2 weeks, I guess my little's mom really talked me up there, because I have been just getting thrown patients. Okay, and I love that. I love what I do, but when you do your job with dignity and due diligence, and you do it well, especially with a therapist, I come home very exhausted. Physically and mentally, because I'm giving therapy, so there's a lot of secondary trauma that gets put on a therapist, and it's a lot of mental energy I really do think the profession of a therapist is helping God do his work, because you're helping people navigate life, and succeed in life, to where when they go to sleep, they can say, well done. And that is my philosophy. You want to move during the day to where when you go to sleep, you're able to tell yourself, well done. Or if not, you're telling yourself, well, what happened there today? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we need to do in order to do better tomorrow? All right. And so with a lot of people, they're holding on to so much back trauma that they don't get to serve their future well, because they're not their best self. So what therapy does is, you're helping heal a person, or helping them adapt to their trauma in order for them to serve their future well, if that makes sense. So throughout the day, like, I'm counseling people, and it takes a lot of mental energy, to where when I come home, I am not always my best self, right? So but I have to be. So sometimes I actually pull up in the driveway, and I kind of take a moment to kind of like just kind of ground myself a little bit and recharge, because then I have to get into the house and be a mom, right? But back to what I was saying. So we did a tour at the daycare, and I'm gonna try to not make this too long, because I see I'm already going like 25 minutes. So we did the tour of the daycare. It's great. It's just an amazing academy. And so, but however, what comes with a good place also comes a good price, right? So her tuition is $260 a week. And so, her dad and I will be splitting that. So the goal is for her dad and I to split that. I don't want to put his business out there at all. But he's focusing on getting to a better peak financially as well. The way I see it is that I have to do this because because it's my mom's health. It's either I tell my mom, please suck it up and, you know, be tired every day, or I can do what I need to do as a mom, because it's not my mom's job to keep Maverick, okay? It's mine, and it's my job to put things in place to where if my mom can't, somebody else can. So I have to, you know, just kind of worry about, you know, or not worry about, but do it for my daughter, you know, period. I mean, I don't, you know, I guess that's the best way to say it. I mean, that's another financial dent in my financial success that I wanted to achieve. So when I moved out, so keep in mind, y'all, once again, when I moved out, I was only supposed to pay my mom $550, and also when I got my income tax, I was giving my mom, I gave my mom, with my last income tax, I gave my mom $2,800, you know, because I told her, well, like, Mom, I'm really trying to pay on my debt. Like, once I had a kid, I need to tackle my debt. And so it's not that I didn't pay my mom anything. Once I got my income tax, from her keeping Maverick, from, you know, from me being on my 3 months of maternity leave up until 2024, I went back to work in March, April, May, June. So from June to January of 2024, that time frame, when I got my income tax, I paid my mom $2,800. I said, hey, I know it's not much. I wish I could give you more, you know, but I couldn't. And so also, and then this year, you know, I said, like, hey, like, I wish I could give you more, but I was going to give her some of my income tax. But now it's just, you know, the game has just completely changed. I'm gonna still give her some of my income tax because she kept Maverick from January to September. But at the end of the day, I'm also thinking, like, I might or I might not, because it's just the game has changed. Because I was only supposed to be paying her $550 a month. Now I'm paying her $800 a month. I told my mom, like, I don't know why she decided to move so far out, to where also the rent is $2,400. I don't think she would be struggling to pay that if my sister and I wasn't paying her like 1/3 of the rent. So my sister's paying $800, I'm paying $800, my mom's paying $800. My mom would be able to pay that, but she wouldn't be able to then pay her bills. So I don't know why she chose this house. Because my sister will be moving out come January, and then I'm moving out when this lease is up. So I just don't I don't understand her reasoning at all. But you know, it's my mom. She has the right to do whatever she wants, because I don't have to stay, right? I can actually move. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But that is the change financially. So instead of just paying $550 every month for rent, I am now, and keep in mind, I was barely paying anything in gas, y'all, because my job was literally 7 minutes up the street. So it went from paying $550 a month, and in the span of just since I did my last video up until now, my last video was July 28th, so let's go ahead and round that to August 1st. It's September the 2nd, so let's go ahead and say September 1st. So in the span of 1 month, y'all, I have gotten a new job, I have moved, and I have been greatly burdened by new financial obligations. So it's been a lot this last month. A little bug there. It's been a lot this past month. Because like I said, if I were to do the math here, I'm going from paying $550 a month, and that's it, to paying, or $550 a month in rent. I'm really trying to get this bug here. You gotta like shoo it out. So I was gone from paying $550 a month in rent and in the span of a month, I'm paying $800 a month in rent. I'm paying $200 a month in gas. Cause keep in mind, it takes